Well, hello there, Filipinars listeners and followers. I hope you're all doing well. And as you know, Filipinars is brought to you by PNANV, or the Philippine Nurses Association of Nevada, as a public service project in collaboration with PHLV Radio. So thank you for joining us today. Well, there is one job in healthcare that supports all facilities, like hospitals, skilled nursing facilities, and even home care. And that is the CNAs, or the Certified Nursing Assistants. So every year, the NAHCA, which is the National Association of Healthcare Assistants, celebrates the CNAs. And this year's theme is We're Unbelievable. So isn't that cool? So today at Filipinars, we give homage, or however you may say that, to the CNAs. And we have invited several guests today who would talk about these wonderful people. So please welcome Ms. Claudette Lachowicz and Ms. Jama De Yoe, Ms. Felicia Parker, and Julian Pineda. I got that right. How are you guys? Welcome to Filipinars.
Thank you.
Okay, very cool. So let's start with Claudette. So Claudette Lachowicz is actually one of the board members of the PNANV. You are part of the media, right? Or no, you're
I'm a board staff.
You're a board staff, right? Okay. And also, let's see, she is a DNP, or a doctor of nursing practice. She's an RN, instructor for CNA, and a CNA training specialist for the Nevada State Board of Nursing. Welcome, yes, Claudette. Can you add a little more to that?
Well, that's basically what it is. I am in charge of the nursing assistant training program here in the state of Nevada. So I also am in charge of the instructors. So the ICNA and the nursing assistant program throughout the state.
Very good, very good. Okay, and she's been with PNA forever. Okay, Ms. Jama De Yoe, you are a MSN in education. You are an RN, and you are the nursing professor and program director for the nursing assistants at the College of Southern Nevada, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what else can you say about yourself?
Well, I actually was a CNA many moons ago. I started my career in nursing as a nursing assistant prior to licensure, before the overlaw took into effect. So I learned on the job, and then shortly after I had to take the class here at CSN, even where I'm teaching and at. I went on and took my LPN at CSN and my associate at CSN, and then now, so full circle, coming back around, I've been teaching since 15 years, and then now
giving back.
Director.
All right, very good. And of course, right beside her is Julian Pineda. Julian works as a CNA, right? At the Southern Nevada Veterans Home in Boulder City?
Yes, I'm currently working at the Veterans Home down in Boulder City. I've been a CNA for about a year now, and currently in progress to be a nurse.
All right.
Actually, yes.
That's what we want to hear. Okay. And of course, we have Ms. Felicia Parker. Felicia Parker is a student of becoming a CNA. However, she has some good news. Go ahead.
Some great news. I just graduated and I passed my board. So I'm super excited. Ice cream and cookies to celebrate with my family.
All right. Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Okay, well, so let's, by definition, a certified nursing assistant, or a CNA, is an entry-level healthcare professional, right, who provides essential daily care to patients under the supervision of a registered nurse, or an RN, or a licensed practitioner, LPN, correct? So as CNAs assist with activities such as hygiene, feeding, and mobility, ensuring the patient's comfort and safety. Okay, did I get that right? Got it right, okay. So let's start with Claudette here. So Claudette, you are with, nursing boards play a very crucial role in overseeing the certified nursing assistant programs by establishing standards for education, certification, and practice. Okay, they ensure that the CNAs meet the necessary qualifications to provide safe care to patients. So can you describe the role more of the Nevada State Board of Nursing in overseeing a CNA program? Is it the same with other nursing boards?
Thank you, Ms. Doris. So first and foremost, the Nevada State Board of Nursing, our mission is to protect the public's health, safety, and welfare through effective nursing regulations. So we really go about with that. That's our focus. That's our function. So when it comes to CNA, like for example, from my end, since I'm the CNA training program specialist, I focus on the education part of the CNAs to ensure, I mean, of course, we start from the get-go that, proper education, following all the regulations. Talking about regulations, we have our CFR. So basically, that's our Code of Federal Regulations. And then with that, there's our NRS and NAC. That's the Nevada laws and regulations.
Right.
And through that, say, for example, when it comes to nursing, CFR 483.152, those are, it focuses on the requirements nationwide with the programs for the nursing assistants specifically. And then with that, there's our NRS, which is the Nevada Revised Statutes, and the NAC, which is the Nevada Administrative Code. It focuses on okay, how do we go about with the program, as what Jama said earlier, that follows the OBRA 87, the entirety of the CNA profession as we, the current nursing profession, CNA profession, because it evolved for the longest time since the First World War. So with that, we follow the nursing chapter, which is the 632. So we have our NPA, which is the Nurse Practice Act.
Right.
So it covers all of the nursing profession, and of course CNA, Certified Nursing Assistant, that entails or includes the nursing assistants as well.
Okay, all right. So is there is certification oversight then from the Nevada State Board of Nursing, correct?
Definitely, because of the OBRA 87.
Yes.
That's why we have the CFRs and the NRS and the NAC. So from my end, I need to make sure that right now we currently have 26 active programs, and they're growing in the state of Nevada. And I need to make sure that, because all of this falls under the education part of the board, which is under the leadership of our education director, Dr. Michelle Johnson, to ensure that programs are, you can call it approved, accredited yearly, annually. And then we do the survey. So it's not just facilities or hospitals get the surveys, schools get surveys
as well.
And then that's biannual, but the renewals are yearly to ensure that everybody's in compliance with the statutes.
So not only are you looking at the licensure of the CNAs, but you're also looking at the licensure or maybe certification of the schools that are providing the education.
Yep.
You're overseeing
You're correct with the approval. That they are standardized and that they follow the state and the federal regulations.
Okay, so is it pretty much the same as in any board of nursing in any state?
Not necessarily, because there's some differences with other states. But the good thing with the Nevada State Board of Nursing is that we cover that. That's part of our jurisdiction. To become a really good professional CNA or licensed nurses, you got to have a very good foundation. And we start with that, and we make sure that everybody gets the good heads up, the good start.
Okay, so does the Nevada State Board of Nursing require any ongoing education for CNAs and to maintain their certification?
Definitely. It's going to
kind of like the CEUs for nurses, right?
Yes, they do require CEUs. It's 24 CEUs So basically, if you average it, it's 1 CEU a month because they renew every other year. It's the same thing with RNs, with the LPNs. It's the same requirements. It's just the number of CEUs because with the licensed nurses, they have different numbers of CEUs.
30.
With the CNAs, they do 24. So if you average it, come on, it's 1 CEU a month if you average that. So it's every other year.
That's not too bad.
Yep, minimum of 40 hours. Performing the bedside CNA, the basic CNA job, and then of course they need to have the background checks or the fingerprinting. They're also required, and then of course the application and the fee.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Do you have any statistics for Nevada and how many CNAs we have, and are there any statistics on any vacant positions that we have? Because I know nursing has that. So
It's a yes and no.
it's
So
okay.
I actually pulled the reports from the nursing workforce in Nevada. This is 2025 because we're just in 2026 right now. From the Nevada Health Workforce Research Center in the Office of Statewide Initiatives at the UNR. School of Medicine, and of course from our office. So what numbers I have, okay, if you look at it, again, we're looking at last year, and for the fiscal year 25-26, we're just getting onto it, and hopefully it'll be available soon. So the number of CNAs in Nevada increased. So we were looking at the start of 2014 up to like 2024 from 7,000 to 9,475 year 2024. So there's like an increase in 31 point
something percent.
That's that's big one. Yep. And then if you look at the need, we're needing another like 5,000 something seats.
Wow.
Good.
Wow.
In order to meet national per capita employment rates, Nevada would need an additional 4,000 something, so going into 5,000 CNAs.
Wow.
Because remember, for every licensed nurse, there's like more than CNAs.
Yes. There's a ratio,
CNAs,
right?
Certified Nursing
Assistant.
Assistant. They're the wind beneath the wings of those.
Exactly. I was going to say, well, thank you for that, Claudette. Let's turn to Jama De Yoe here. Let's see. Can you describe your role as a program coordinator for CNAs at the colleges of Nevada?
Well, the role is maintaining the accreditation, the ability to have the programs within the state with the state licensure. So making sure that the curriculum is established and followed, making sure the instructors, are doing what they're supposed to, hiring them on. That's our biggest problem now, is just getting ICNA certified nurses. So it's a registered nurse with an ICNA license, which is challenging because there's not a ton of those out there. And I don't know the statistics on that. Claudette may. But that's our challenge. If we had more ICNA trained RNs, we could get more CNAs out with more classes.
That's interesting. So you actually have to be a certified CNA instructor.
You do.
You do.
So you have to take the train the trainer course to become, and every year we renew that license as well as our RN license.
Every year, or
Yes.
a couple
That's
years?
every year.
Oh, that's
Our
every
RN
year.
license is every 2 years.
Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious! I
If
didn't.
I may add on,
Yes.
Jama was saying that you have to have a good record of your RN license. And at the same time, there's a special license, and that's why we're called ICNAs. There's a special license to be required to become a CNA instructor. So the instructor need to have 2 licenses: the unencumbered Nevada license, and then on top of that, an ICNA.
An ICNA, which has to be renewed every year.
Every year.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. So you also oversee accreditation compliance?
Yes. So
Okay.
We have to participate in the surveys when Claudette comes to survey us soon, and making sure that all our student records are up to date and we're following what we say we're doing. So we have to comply with what we have said to the board that we're providing the students, and we have a standard content and the things that we do have to cover within the program to maintain the accreditation and the standardization within Nevada.
Okay, so you also have training oversight both with the instructors and the students that are undergoing the program?
Well, not as much with them unless they're my own students, so I do
I
teach
see.
classes.
Okay.
Now I look probably or follow them with the pass rate, so I am monitoring how they're doing within the state exams. So they do a written and a skills exam. So I follow because that ties to our accreditation too. If we are not complying with the 80% or higher pass rate, then we could be, as a program, in trouble with the state board. So we have to maintain that
Wow.
accreditation too.
This is a totally different world, actually, from where I know. But so you're doing program evaluation as well?
Evaluation.
Yes.
Curriculum, staffing. Yeah, all of that.
How many ICNAs are there in CSN?
Well, we have, 3, 4, 5, 6 that are full-time working within the program. We have
Okay.
several of the ADN faculty that are certified, but they just kind of fill in gaps if we have absences of instructors that need to fill
Okay.
in.
So what kind of support services do you provide for those undergoing the CNA program?
Within the program, we try and provide like open lab hours for them to come in and practice, especially before they are doing even our skills exams. And then they are continuing to come in after they have finished us or completed prior to licensure so that they can continue to practice and get that hands-on, because they have 1 year to get their accreditation or their certification. So they may wait 9 months to come back in. They can come into our skills lab and they can practice again.
Okay. Okay, good. So what's the enrollment like for the CNA program?
Like I said, if I had more ICNA nurses, I could increase our numbers. Right now, it's probably close to 300 about, give or take, every year. We have 3 cohorts or sessions, so spring, summer, and fall. Within the fall and the spring session, we have 3 cohorts where there's 2 6-week program and there's 1 15, so 1 full semester and 2 smaller condensed programs within the semester. So technically, what is that? 1, 2, 7 cohorts within the year that
Wow.
come through us.
So if you have more ICNAs, then you will have
I could-
a higher. You could have.
I could get more classes, yes.
classes.
And I fill up, so to give a perspective, the schedule goes out, say the first for priority registration, it gets pretty full with that. And that's just CSN students. Once
Wow.
the open enrollment hits, which is usually 20 days later, then it opens to the public. It fills within a short period of time. And I've been full for the start of next Monday for
Oh my gosh.
weeks. weeks. And I get calls and emails daily of, I want to get in the program. Sorry.
How long does it take for this for someone to complete the CNA program?
It's either a 6-week or a 15-week. So it would depend on what,
15.
15 weeks
Yes.
or 6.
Or 6.
Yes. So we
There's
have
a
2,
condensed
the 2 6-week program.
Wow. That's pretty amazing. Okay, well, thank you for that, Jima. I mean, feel free to interject whatever. This is a conversational thing. It's nothing like really, well, it is serious because we need to know more about what the CNAs are doing and actually create awareness on the importance of the CNAs, because I think that they are somewhat like in the back burner of people, of the people in healthcare. Right, Julian? Okay.
I agree. I think CNAs are forgotten a lot in healthcare. I think people see nurses and doctors and hospitals, and they forget that a lot of the backbone comes from CNAs.
They're the eyes and the ears of those nurses. They are with those patients more than the registered
I
nurse.
agree.
Okay, well, that just that gives me a totally different. I remember when I first came here to the States, and we did have a CNA that was working, kind of with us, and they took vital signs. They did pretty much a lot of work, for the nurses to be able to attend to their patients. So, kudos to you guys. So, Julian, how long have you been a CNA, and what kind of setting in healthcare are you working in? Can you describe that for us?
Right. So I've been a CNA for just over a year now. I'm working in a skilled nursing facility at the Veterans Home down in Boulder City.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been there. I actually got my training done there and my CNA certification completed there with them. So I've been a part of their facility for about a year now, working with all the veterans, and I've loved it so far. I think it's my way of sort of giving back to them and thanking them for their service.
Yeah.
So that's been really great for the past year.
That's great. So what kind of training did you receive? Adequate training to prepare for the role of being a CNA?
Oh yeah, beyond. We did, for us, it was a 6-week program, I believe. It was during the summer of 2025, and there was only 4 people in the class actually, so it made it very, I don't want to say easier, but you had more of a connection with the instructor. So she was very helpful. And she did a great job at instructing us and helping all of us pass our state exam.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. So, can you describe more in detail about what is the role in your eyes and ears of the CNA with patient care?
So I think, as Ms. Jama said, that we're the eyes and ears of nurses. I fully agree with that. We're with the patients and residents, as we call them, at the Veterans Home, more often than the nurses are. We see them more. We bathe them, so we get to see their skin complete with no obstruction. We get to see their eating habits. How much they ate throughout the day for a certain period of time, so we can kind of gauge how they're feeling and almost relay that back to the nurses, which they don't really get to see because of how busy they are themselves.
Sure. So that relates to basically the proper nutrition for the residents and the people that you see, right?
Proper nutrition, proper care for. We get to see them when we bathe them. That's one of the times that we get to really see their skin. So if we notice anything, we can tell the nurse. We can call her over. She can look at it, have that more one-on-one without her having to be so involved with the patient. She can kind of let that duty. She can put that duty onto us almost, so that we can relay it back to her. So
That's
it goes
good.
with nutrition, it goes with skincare, it goes with a lot of patient care.
Definitely, you guys are the eyes and ears, for nurses, right? So what do you like most about being a CNA?
The relationships, honestly, that you get to build. Personally, the relationships that I get to build with the veterans. I've never really worked in a hospital setting, so I can't say. I can't give my opinion on how it is building relationships in hospitals, but in a long-term care facility, working with residents, you got to see them day in, day out. You're with them for 2-3 meals a day sometimes. So you wake them up, you put them to bed, so you do develop a relationship with them. That's, I think, been my favorite part of
Being a CNA?
working in that field.
Yeah. it's too bad we don't have somebody here from the hospital, but I know that it's sort of kind of short term. But I'm in home care myself. I mean, I like that area. So you do develop, some kind of a
Bond.
long-term
Yeah,
relationship
yeah.
with your patients. Okay. So what do you think are some of the challenges of being a CNA?
I think it's a very physically demanding job.
Okay.
A lot of strain on the back, you have to use proper movement so that you don't really pull anything, you don't strain anything, so that you can actually have a long career without injuring yourself a year into it, per se. On top of that, I think the shortage of CNAs in general. You have one CNA call out in a facility, and that, you can have up to 15 patients per CNA, which is,
That's rough.
not only hard on the CNAs themselves, but then puts risk towards the patients themselves. Because one slip up, which is really easy when you're taking care of 15 people, one slip up and it can be harmful to them.
Oh, wow. And so you're studying to become a nurse,
I am.
right? Are you going for the RN or BS associate or BSN
Yeah,
program?
so right now I'm taking my prereqs, finishing up my prereqs for the Nevada State nursing program. So I hope to apply there sometime soon and actually start my nursing career. Given all the history I have with CNA work and experience, I hope that I can kind of use my perspective as a
Skills too,
CNA
right?
to kind of help out in my nursing career.
It will.
You
From
will.
experience, it will.
Yes, I was going to say, Jama here started as a CNA. You
And
said
I've heard from so many other RNs that, who have started off as CNAs, that it's helped them.
You'll be ahead of the ones that haven't, because you're going to already have that communication, even just talking with the patient. If you've never taken care of a patient, that's hard to start.
A lot of people are put in that, having clinicals and being in a lab is very different than being in that real world setting. So I think a lot of people can't really translate that lab clinical setting towards hospital real world setting.
real world, yeah, definitely. A lot of communication skills that are needed, in your job, right? Okay, so Felicia, so you just let's hone in on your being a nursing assistant student. Okay, how was that for you? Why did you want to become a CNA?
Honestly, it's kind of based on my Christian faith, just the purpose of serving others. And understanding that's part of who we are. And so it's kind of a legacy in my family. My aunt was a nurse and RN for years in Los Angeles, and she recently passed away. And what really sparked me was hearing the stories of all the impact that she had on lives in the hospital and with her colleagues and things like that. And I said, okay, I had been wanting to do it for a while. And that was the flame that kind of lit the fire, the bonfire, we say, and I just kind of took the reins and ran with it, and now here I am on the other side of it.
Yeah, that's good. So where did you go to school, or?
I went to the
I
Perry
say did
Foundation.
because we'll explain that later.
Yes, I went
Yeah.
to the Perry Foundation, which is a great
The
program.
Perry Foundation.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I've heard about them a lot.
Yeah.
And they're helping a lot of people. So I guess you just graduated, right?
I did.
Okay. So
Like a matter of weeks ago.
before you do that, so what did you learn? What kind of skills did you learn, and how was that program for you?
Oh my goodness. Well, the program is an accelerated program. So you go from 0 to 100 because our program is 4 weeks. So in a month,
Oh, wow.
you learn, and it's intense. So class, next day test, class, next day test. And so you have to be sharp on on your game when it comes to consuming everything, like Julian was saying, because you learn so many skills and then you have to apply them. So you learn the bed making, you learn the bed bath, you learn, denture care, you learn how to feed them, but also you're also learning how to communicate and how to be effective in serving the nursing team. So I am the eyes and the ears, and I have to learn how to do that effectively, because I can be in the room and still not be an asset to the nursing team. I can become a liability if I don't do it right and I don't do it well.
Right.
So I may feed you, but it could be problematic if I don't record it right, or if I, don't clean you well. I could be the reason why maybe you suffer a more intense infection or something like that. So we still have to be very on point with that. And that was one of the things I am grateful for the Perry Foundation, because my instructor was very intense about the small details. And that's where success lies for the CNAs, is in the small details.
Did you get a lot of support from your instructors and the classes while you were undergoing this?
Absolutely. Very supportive. They were there to, one, encourage, but also to help if you had questions, or if there was a concern about anything. It was always somebody there that you knew you could turn to, and it didn't feel like, okay, I'm running this race all by myself. It felt like, okay, I'm running this race with 11 other classmates. And we have a leader that is our instructor that's cheering us on, like our biggest cheerleader, so that we can succeed.
So you had a simulation lab also over there. So what kind of skills did you learn? You learned
bed making, blood pressure,
bathing,
all the things.
That's one of the things that, my husband has been in the hospital a couple of times, and that's one of the things that I noticed is that they don't do the bed bath or anything anymore. It's just they give you a basin, and it's up to somebody who can fill it with water or something, and then the washcloth. I'm like, okay, so this was not how I was trained.
So that was not the standard.
That was not the standard. So I was like, okay, so how come bed baths are not a trend now? Is that right? Okay, and so here's the thing. Mm-hmm. Felicia just graduated.
Yes, I did.
And she passed the board. Can you tell us about that experience?
Oh, gosh. Nerve-wracking. So you're finishing your program, and you're like, okay, we've got finals. And then you make it through finals, and you're like, yes. But you don't celebrate too much, because boards are around the corner. And so then you go head back in the books, and you're like, okay, I've got to prepare for clinicals again and the knowledge test again. And literally, I just remember throughout my whole knowledge test, I was just praying, Lord, help me remember these answers. Because you're thinking, okay, the verbiage says, what would you do first? And just the little things you have to pay attention to on the test. And then you go into the skills, and it's not your instructor, it's someone you don't know. And so you're like, oh my gosh, I've got to make sure, wash those hands 20 seconds before I get to the wrist. And just the little things that the class taught you that after going to clinicals really helped you to implement it in the test. Because class is one thing, the hospital clinicals is a totally different thing. Mm-hmm. Totally. And I'm so grateful we did that before we had our finals, because I think that's what helped solidify it in my mind for me was, okay, you're in the hospital, you hit the ground running. They're not asking, hey, did you count? No, it's literally up to you, because like he said, they have 16, 17 on their count for the day. And they're like, wash your hands, get out. We've got to go to the next room. Like, we've got to get through vitals. We've got to do breakfast, all the things. And so it's like, shoot, you got to be on it.
Go.
Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness. So do you have any wishes on how you think could have helped you in going through, the whole class, being a CNA?
There isn't much I would say that I would change. I would say, obviously, clinical time helps you. But even, like I think both of us agreed, classroom is very different from on the job. So having more hospital clinical days, I think would have been awesome, because, you're in there and you're in the midst of doing the actual work, and you get to see what it looks like. And I think that's what helps you gain the knowledge and the understanding more than just myself and my classmate. And I'm like, okay, I'm about to make your bed now, and she's fine. But I go into the hospital and somebody has tubes and, a colostomy, and I'm like, oh no, I have to do a bed change on you. Like, this is real. So just having more of that, I think, would be great.
I just want to
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Just because CSN, and not to tout CSN, but they're all good, right? But we have 180 hours with the students, so I don't know how many hours Perry does.
Yeah.
We have 90 hours of clinical time.
Oh, wow.
So I think that helps our students to get more hands-on before they actually are the real deal.
What do you think about that? Well, let's start with you, and then I'm going to ask Julian over here. So
I'm going to jump into that, Doris, because if you notice, there's there's CSN, there's Columbia Academy, there's Perry Academy, Foundation Academy of Health. So there's a lot of ways that the nursing assistant training program here in Nevada can go. So, like, for example, with CSN, those are the colleges. So we have CSN, TMCC, GBC, and then there's the government outlets like the Sierra Nevada Job Corps. And then there's also the private institutions, and one of them is the Perry Foundation, Academy of Health. And then there's the high schools. They have the career technical and technical education. It goes like through the CTE. So if you're still a high school, mostly like in their junior and senior years, and yet you can finish the nursing assistant training program. And there's also the facility-based, which PFC Columbia Academy has. So literally the organizations, like for example, the Veteran Services, they grow their own. And that's where Julian's coming from. So they come from different settings, so to speak.
So to speak.
Yep. And then for the board, as Felicia was saying, there's two parts of the state exam. First is the computer, the knowledge exam, and then there's another part which is the skills exam. That's why she says it's like really nerve-wracking, because you don't just sit and answer in front of the computer.
Yeah.
But there's the other part that you have to do the actual skills, and somebody's like watching you, and and it's a 30-minute skills exam, so it can be very nerve-wracking.
Very nerve-wracking.
Absolutely.
And do most people pass, or there are some failures as well, right?
There are some failures, I think, because the nerves get the best of them, to be honest, because when you practice, and Julian can probably speak to this, the ladies can speak to this, you know what you're doing when you go in, and then you get so nervous that your brain kind of scrambles.
Yeah.
And you just, because even, for mine, they said, okay, the clock will go off at 15 minutes, letting you know, and you hear that, and you... So in your mind, you're like, okay, I still have to get through all these skills and I have to do all these things. And it's like, if we would just slow down, because I panicked and I had like 8 minutes left. And I'm like, Felicia, relax. But I'm thinking others probably feel that way too, because you want to pass so bad.
Right.
And you kind of overexert yourself a little bit and you kind of forget the small things.
So what do you think about that, Julian?
Oh, I completely agree. Yeah, the nerves gets you, and I think that's what gets most people, because like Felicia said, during practice, during clinicals, everyone can knock it out. But then when you get put on the spot, and then you're in front of somebody that you've never met before, you see them as this big boss instructor who's just looking to fail everybody, when in reality they're not either. So that test versus clinical experience is very different. Luckily, the instructor that we had, she actually did kind of pressure us into doing timed tests, time practice runs, so that when we were in the state exam, we knew, we knew how it already felt almost.
See, okay. So do you guys think that you should have more time in training, or you think that the curriculum that you were put in is enough to get you, to be a great CNA?
I honestly think that 4 to 6 weeks is perfect. I think that the longer you put it off, I know that there was a few people in the cohort that also had put off the skills test a few months post passing the knowledge
The
exam.
knowledge exam.
So that kind of disrupted like the flow of how things were going because as time was pushed on, we didn't have as much clinical time. So I think if you can really knock it out within that 6 week period, I think you're golden. As long as you can calm your nerves, as long as you realize that the test is it's pretty nerve-wracking and you're going to be nervous, I think 6 weeks is a good ample time.
Very
Yes.
good.
And
Do you agree?
I do. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to say historically, so students that wait longer, they have 1 year to test. The ones that wait longer don't do as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sort of kind of forget what you learned, and
Absolutely.
yeah.
Because of
It's not as fresh.
how minute everything is, you can slip up with something and then you just get docked points, and then those docked points add up, and next thing you know you
You fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you're not successful.
I do agree with Julian. 4 to 6 weeks is great, and I would not let too much lag time in between, because you're so fresh after class is over. It's like just go straight to the boards. Don't wait. Don't say, I'm going to give myself more time to study. It's like, no. It's in there. Go take your boards.
Okay, so who puts on the test? Is it the Nevada State Board of Nursing or the school?
That's part of the requirement. So first, they have to be enrolled in an accredited or approved nursing assistant training program, and then they finish, they graduate, yay, but hold your horses, because now they have to review and then pass the state board exam, which is like the 2 parts, the computer and the skills, and then once they pass the state exam, then they have to apply to for their CNA number, and then they become CNAs.
And you become
So they have to be in the registry of the board.
That's quite a process.
It is.
Wow. Oh, my goodness gracious. And congratulations, you passed the board.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
That's good. That's good. Well, little do I know, or, I didn't know this whole process that had to be, followed, to become a CNA. So you can take the test online, so there's no schedule for having tests, or is there a certain schedule that you have to?
It has to be scheduled. So they go through our testing vendor. Currently, we have Headmaster as the contracted vendor to conduct the state exam for the CNAs here in Nevada.
Oh, okay. Okay.
There's an online component where they take the written exam, and then they have to set an appointment with a rater that rates them on the skills.
The skills.
The skills. Wow.
It's a 2-step process.
Okay. Well, here's a question for all of you. What is your message to the community regarding the importance of CNAs? Who wants to start?
I just think that
Go ahead,
CNAs
Jama.
is a huge, important job as even being one, and that, we need to grow that in our community because the need is there. I see it with my clinical students, with the facilities where you guys are working, right? They're short. You say if somebody calls off, we need to get more CNAs. In that, we also need more ICNAs. So anybody wants to be a CNA instructor, get that ICNA, come talk to us. I'm sure your professors need more instructors also.
Wow. That's amazing. What do you say, Julian?
I think that that you should pay a little bit more attention to the people that are working in such environments, not necessarily just CNAs, housekeepers, janitors, all the other people overlooked that help keep the facility running. I think you can be a little bit more appreciative of everyone as a whole.
Yeah.
The whole team.
Yeah.
The whole team, yeah, because it takes a village, like they say, and
Exactly.
a lot of the people, the jobs are sort of kind of like forgotten on what in regards to their importance in participating or taking care of the patient as a whole, right? So, Felicia, what is your message to the community about the importance of CNAs?
I think they are unsung heroes. And I've heard it said like this, that you're not paid based on the hour, you're paid based on the value you bring to that hour. And I'd say CNAs bring so much more value to the hour than they're paid. They are truly the unsung heroes, and seeing that in clinicals and the way they handle it with such grace, I'm like, wow, I would want the CNAs that I got to shadow to serve me and my family, because they did it so well, juggling a gazillion water jugs theoretically, and they did it and did not let one drop, and they did it with a smile on their face. So they truly are the unsung heroes.
Man, you could be in marketing. That was very good. I like that. A lot of people say nurses are the unsung heroes. Well, they're forgetting the CNAs who also participate in that.
Absolutely.
So, Ms. Claudette, you are going to have the last word.
Well, they all said it already, but in a little bit of an addition, like what you mentioned, it takes a whole village. And just remember that CNAs, that's why it's called CNA, Certified Nursing Assistant. There's the nurse. They're part of the nursing team, part of the nursing world. And that being said, goes a long way to be a team, to be part of the team. And thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to share out there, to shout out there about the CNA profession.
Yes, that's why we've been talking about this for a while, and we keep getting little bumps on the road. But finally, I thank you all for coming. Is there anything else that I missed that you want to talk about? Very good.
Thank you.
Oh, yes. Well, thank you so much for joining us today at this episode of Filipinars. And thank you so much for all you do. I mean, it's amazing. So thank you again. And to our audience, we leave you with this. Certified nursing assistants, or CNAs, play a crucial role in healthcare by providing direct patient care, assisting with daily activities, and ensuring that patient comfort under the supervision of nurses are done. So CNAs have made an incredible impact on patients, especially older adults and those who work and manage hospitals, nursing homes, assisted living communities, and in-home care as well. So let us celebrate and recognize and pay our respects to them. Thank you so much for joining us today. Please be safe and be well. And until next time, this is Doris Bauer, your Filipinars host, signing off for now.
Just like a friend from back home. This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio.